One of the problems with recruiting for investment banking is not the knowledge or skills you acquire, but the access to talk with real investment bankers to put your best foot forward. Our sponsor, WSO Academy, can provide those connections with 60 head mentors who are finance professionals at top firms like Goldman, Centerview, and JP Morgan. Imagine being able to get on the phone within 24 hours with one of the Academy's 1,300 mentors right before a critical interview. Get on the waitlist for WSO Academy today by clicking the link in the show notes or by visiting wallstreetoasis.com/academy. All right. Welcome to Investment Banking Insights. This is the only show dedicated to helping you learn both the technical and non-technical aspects of the investment banking process. My name is Alex Mason and I am your host. And you know what it is. What are we doing here? We're just learning about investment banking, all aspects, learning the technical, learning the behavioral, learning about the industry. We're just digging into everything we can because the more knowledge we're exposed to, the more we can learn, and the more we learn, the more we can grow. The more we grow, the more we can do and be, right? That's what it's all about. So recording live here from Ithaca, New York, Cornell MBA, first year over here, just getting going with the recruiting process over here up in Ithaca. We're just getting things off. It's late August and yeah, we're just learning the rules of the road. We're practicing, just touching the tip of this whole process. But I mean, you already know what I've been on. I've been studying this stuff since May, just getting ready for this and sharing my journey live with you. So thank you for joining me. Today's question is a behavioral question. We're talking about the hours. Yes, the hours. And you're going to be working a lot of hours if you go into this field, right? The question is this: can you handle working these hours? Can you handle it? You're going to be working a lot, maybe 60, maybe 80, maybe 100 hours a week. This is a significant commitment of your time, energy, and capacity. And so you need to understand what you're getting into. And you might get asked this question. So you should kind of have a framework for answering it. Think about how you want to approach it. So if you plan to work in investment banking, you are going to have to work a lot of hours. There's no way around this, especially at the analyst and associate levels. Plain and simple, you're going to have to put in a lot of work. Now, you probably already know this at this point, but it just bears repeating because it is a very serious commitment. The good thing is, though, if you genuinely enjoy the job and you work with great people, the hours are probably not going to be so bad. It's like there's like some kind of maxim or saying where you'll never work a day in your life if you work on what you love, something like that. And that's not 100% true because, of course, there are aspects of any job that you don't like, even if it's your dream job, but you can enjoy the majority of it, I believe. And that can lead to a very fulfilling career. So think about that. I realize not everyone's going to agree with me on this, the fact that the hours are probably not so bad in some circumstances. But if you are the type of person who has made it to 168 episodes of an investment banking podcast, you probably have the stamina for working in this kind of an industry. I believe you can do it. If you made it this far and have been joining me on this journey, then I believe in you. You really can do it. So be empowered and be encouraged in that. But you really do have to know yourself and what you're willing to accept and not accept in pursuit of your aspirations. I mean, there are people that I know, bankers that I know, people who have tried investment banking, who have families, people with kids, who, they would absolutely refuse to work long hours. And so they chose not to pursue this field after looking into it. And that's perfectly okay. There's a better fit for you that's out there. But if you are on this path, you should be able to answer into this question about working long hours. And the way I approach it is very simple. Approach it as someone who is confident in their abilities and as someone who has a good idea of what they're signing up for. If you come across as someone who is hesitant, that is really bad. That is a sign that maybe you don't actually want this. So be cognizant of how you're coming off. So if someone says, Can you handle these working hours? I might say something like, you know what? I understand that a career in investment banking, especially as an associate, is a significant time commitment, but I've done my research. I've talked to such and such at your bank and so at your bank, and I have a good understanding of what the work entails and the commitment that's required. And based on my prior experience working as an aerospace engineer, working on complex projects for long hours as well during my academic years in undergrad and during my MBA program, I'm confident that I can handle whatever you throw at me. And it's just something like that is so simple, and you don't really need to elaborate too much on that. But it just shows that, yeah, you understand where you're getting into and you're ready. Contrast this with an answer like, well, I heard the hours are long, but I was really hoping that, maybe I could get Saturdays off. And like, do you guys have like protected Saturdays? And, like I really like if I need to go, like, are you guys cool with that? If I just need to dip out for something, like, no, that's not a good answer because it shows hesitation, lack of commitment. But if you do honestly have an honest question about what the firm's culture is with regards to hours, like definitely ask if it's a question like, hey, like, do you guys have protected Saturdays? Do you guys consider the well-being of your employees? And what ways do you manifest that? What are your policies surrounding that? Those are all very valid questions. I'm just saying, I think it's more so the energy that you have when you answer a question like this, because it's kind of a loaded question, right? I mean, you could answer it like the way that I said earlier, very confident with some evidence from your resume and background in order to back it up, or you could say something like, well, I just don't I'm willing to work up to 60 hours a week. You don't want to like say something like that because that could be a major turnoff. So that's how I would approach this question. Again, just speak from the heart, right? If you really want this, it's going to come across, and they probably won't even ask you this question if they know that, yes, this person, based on everything I've seen and the vibes that I picked up from them, like they're willing to go hard. So consider that when thinking about the question of, are you willing to work these hours? That's what I got for you today here on Investment Banking Insights. My name is Alex Mason, and I am your host. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for your messages, for all the love. I appreciate it. I hope you have an incredible day, no matter what you're doing, no matter where you are in the world. I appreciate you, and be encouraged. You can do this. I'll see you on the next one.